Hello, my friends. Welcome to another story journey. Today, we have a beautiful tale designed for the A2 to B1 level. This story holds a special message about nature and the hidden magic around us. Have you ever felt that trees are trying to talk to you? Today's story explores exactly that. I will introduce 5 new, powerful English words. They are essential words that will make your English sound natural and expressive. Here is our study guide for today. First, listen without subtitles. Focus on the feelings and the music of the language. Second, turn the subtitles on and read along with me. Notice how the words fit together. Third, pause the video and practice speaking. Repeat my sentences, copy my rhythm. Do not worry about boring grammar drills. You will learn grammar naturally through the story. Are you ready? Let's step into the trees. Chapter 1. The Edge of the Trees. Our story follows a young girl named Lila. She lived in a small, quiet village. At the edge of her village stood a massive line of trees. People called it the Whispering Woods. Nobody from the village ever went inside. They were afraid of the dark shadows, but Lila was different. She had a deep sense of bravery in her heart. She possessed true courage. Courage is what you feel when you are scared, but you take a step forward anyway. Lila needed this bravery today. She did not want to stay in her room. She wanted to step into the unknown. She wanted to walk slowly with no clear direction. She wanted to wander into the deep green shadows. Lila stood at the border of the trees. The sunlight hit the leaves. She saw a tiny, bright light. It was a soft gleam. A gleam is a gentle shine, like a star in the night sky, or a gold coin in the sun. This soft shine pulled her in. She took a deep breath. She felt the wind touch her face. She heard a soft sound. It was the dry sound of leaves rubbing together. She heard the rustle of the branches. Every rustle sounded like a hidden secret. The forest was calling her name. Chapter 2. The Path of Shadows. Lila stepped onto the dirt path. It felt like she had entered a different world. The trees around her were not young. They had been there for hundreds of years. They were incredibly old. They were ancient. These ancient trees had thick trunks and enormous roots. Touching their rough bark made Lila feel very small. She began to walk deeper. She did not have a map. She only wanted to explore freely. She let her feet wander down the twisting path. Sometimes it is good to walk without a plan. When you wander, you find things you are not looking for. Suddenly she heard a strange noise. It was behind a large rock. It was another soft sound of dry leaves. It was a quick rustle. She stopped. Her heart beat faster. She needed her inner strength again. She needed her courage. She took a slow step toward the rock. She pushed the bushes aside. Behind the rock, a tiny squirrel was holding a nut. The squirrel looked at Lila. It did not run away. Instead, it pointed its nose deeper into the woods. It was as if the animal wanted to show her something. Chapter 3. The Golden Flower. Lila decided to follow the squirrel. The path grew darker. The sun could barely reach the ground. But up ahead she noticed another soft light. It was a bright gleam in the middle of the dark forest. She walked toward the gentle light. She found a small, open space. In the very center, there was a single flower. It was not a normal flower. Its petals were shining with a yellow gleam. The light made the whole area feel warm and safe. Lila knelt beside the flower. She saw letters carved into a stone next to it. The stone looked very old. It was covered in moss. It was an ancient stone marker. The writing on this very old stone was in a language she did not know. However, looking at the flower, Lila felt a strong emotion. She remembered stories her grandmother told her. The stories spoke of a lost magic. This magic belonged to the oldest parts of the world. It belonged to the ancient times. Lila knew she had found something important. But what did it mean? She decided to sit quietly. She closed her eyes. She stopped moving. She stopped trying to understand everything. She just listened. Chapter 4. The Voice of the Wind. For a long time, nothing happened. Lila sat still. Then the wind started to blow. The leaves above her began to move. The soft noise of the leaves filled the air. This rustle grew louder. But it was not just a random noise. The rustle sounded like a human voice. The leaves were whispering. "You have come far," the wind seemed to say. "You walked without a map. You chose to wander into the unknown." Lila opened her eyes. The golden flower began to shine brighter. The soft light turned into a powerful gleam. She felt afraid, but she refused to run. Running away was easy. Staying required a brave heart. It required true courage. "I am listening," Lila whispered. The voice in the wind continued. It told her the true secret of the forest. The secret was not gold. It was not a magic wand. The secret was patience and harmony. The forest was a living thing. The old, ancient trees held memories of everything that had ever happened. They remembered the rain, the sun, and the snow. The forest shared its wisdom only with those who took the time to listen. Most people from her village never listened. They only took wood and left. They never noticed the beauty. They never noticed the magic. Chapter 5. A Test of the Heart. Suddenly the wind stopped. The silence was heavy. The forest was testing her. A dark shadow fell across the clearing. The golden flower closed its petals. The light disappeared. It was entirely dark. Lila felt panic rising in her chest. She wanted to cry out. "Do not be afraid," she told herself. "Use your courage." She stood up. She did not run blindly into the dark. If she ran fast in the dark, she would get lost. She did not want to aimlessly wander and fall. Instead, she took deep breaths. She remembered the gentle shine she had seen. She held the memory of that gleam in her mind. She pictured the light in her heart. She spoke loudly into the dark. "I respect this place. I honor the old trees. I honor the ancient memories of the forest. I will protect your secret." As soon as she spoke those words, the darkness lifted. The shadow faded away. The flower opened its petals once again. The soft, beautiful gleam returned, brighter than before. The forest accepted her promise. She had passed the test. Chapter 6. The Return Journey. Lila smiled. She felt a profound connection to the earth. She felt a deep peace. She turned around to walk back to her village. The journey home was easy. The trees seemed to move aside for her. The branches made a cheerful rustle to say goodbye. The sound of the moving leaves was no longer scary. The rustle was a friendly song. She walked down the dirt path. She did not need to search for the way out. She did not have to wander anymore. She knew exactly where she was going. Her heart was full of a new kind of bravery. It was a quiet courage. She knew she could face anything in life. When she finally reached the edge of the woods, she looked back one last time. The massive trees stood tall. They were grand and old. These ancient giants were no longer just wood and leaves. They were her friends. Lila stepped out of the shadows and back into the sunlight of her village. She did not tell anyone about the golden flower. She did not tell them about the talking wind. Some secrets are meant to be kept in the heart. But the villagers noticed a change in her. They noticed the bright light in her eyes. They noticed the calm and strong way she walked. She showed them that the unknown is not always dangerous. Sometimes, when we let ourselves wander into new places, we find our true strength. You do not need to fight the world to be strong. The most profound bravery is the quiet kind. True courage is simply keeping your heart open when the world feels dark and scary. The secret of the forest is that the answers are already around us. We just have to stop running and start listening. Discovering your own truth changes everything. If you are ready to see what happens when someone refuses to listen to that inner voice, click the video on your screen right now called The Wrong Choice.